that's what they say, that if you learn the composition well, then you start getting the main phrases for alap purposes as well. The compositions and words, the lyrics are short, mostly. At least nowadays, they're only using the Sai Anantara, because earlier there were 4 parts, the Aap and Sanchari as well. So that made it at least 4 parts. But right now, I think there'll be just 1 top and 1 bottom, and they keep improvising on that. So in Kritis, are there long compositions, number one, and are there improvisations in that as well?
You can do improvisations in the Kritis, the Kalpana Swaram, they call Manodharma Swaram. It's like how you sing the Swaras, Sargam for the...
Oh, I see.
Yeah. Actually...
Improvisation in Kritis? Sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, I was wondering because whatever little I know about Drupad, it's like extended improvisation happens on the Kritis or the compositions as well. Is that so? It seems you just go over the composition maybe repeatedly a couple of times, and then you start working on, like they call it like dugun, tigun, like double speed, triple speed, this, that, using this phrase 1 time, 3 times the other one. Some combinations thereof, obviously based on what would you have done in the raga. Whatever phrases you would have taken, you're using the words instead of the name of the swar. So is that something? But so it seems the composition is so-called simple, but improvisation is what just brings out the excitement, I guess.
Yeah, so Carnatic music concerts, what you see is the Kriti is the main body, and then you attach your personal improvisation in the form of alap or swaram at the end, maybe in the charanam, after the charanam, or using the swaras and then go back to Pallavi every time. So there is a format of developing how you sing the Vilambakala and then go to the Drutakala when you sing the swaras. Even in alap also it is there, and then you start with shorter swaras and then longer talavartas, and then you add mathematical calculation, symmetrical swara patterns. And finally you end up with a very beautiful it is called muktai. Muktai is like a necklace which has a locket. That is the makudam of the swara singing. So in Tamil Nadu temples and you will see there is a makudam, right? Tadivakudam it is called, the tomb.
Like the Gopuram?
Gopuram, yes. So how it is placed in a temple, each door, each side, it's symmetrical and it has an architectural beauty. Same way the swara patterns also have similar kind of format. Yeah, so the main composition will be the more elaborate one, and then you will have shorter kritis with shorter improvisation. And the most advanced improvisation comes in Ragam Tanam Pallavi. So Ragam Tanam Pallavi, probably you can compare it with the Hindustani type of improvisation. There will be only just 2 lines, or maybe 1 line with first half and second half, Purvangam and Uttarangam. You take that line and then you first you sing the already set tune of that line, which is popular, maybe somebody has composed, and then you improvise the same line in different ways. You have to see, the sentence, you take the sentence, you have to improvise it in different ways. You can tell that in different ways. You have to improvise that in different ways, like that you can tell. You have to improvise in different ways. In another tone, you can tell. Depending on the situation, who is talking to whom, right? Different tonal intonations will give different bhavam expressions to the same line. So that is your creativity. You use the lines, using the lines in different ways. You're talking to, it's a conversation, dialogue with the God, mostly in Carnatic music. So the bhavam is also, devotion is there in everything, but devotion in different shades. Like Tyagaraja can get angry with Lord Rama. He might shout at him. Sometimes Tyagaraja will just simply cry like to a mother. He will plead. So different expressions in different songs, different ragas, which are suitable to carry those lyrics. Based on the meanings of the lyrics, they will choose the ragas.
So the kritis that you guys are talking about, if anyone sang them, they'll sing them exactly the same way. If there's a kriti in a certain raga, is the raga prescribed?
There is a general outline, general format of the kriti, but different schools will have different styles of singing. That's where only the difference will come, but the basic structure of the kriti will be the same. Then there is something called Niraval. So you take two lines, maybe some prominent lines, which has the composer's mudra signature in that kriti, and then you improvise upon that line in different tunes in the same raga.
So when people say, like I was telling you the other day about Gurbani, like in the Guru Granth Sahib, that each they call them shabads, or the shabad just means the word, but kirtan or whatever. So each of them has a prescribed raga on it, written on it, that this would be the tal and this would be the raga. So just like that, the South Indian composer, the old, the golden we have been talking about, they have prescribed a raga. So whether it's for Gurbani or for the South Indian composers, when somebody prescribes a raga and tal, even then you could, when somebody starts using the same raga, same tala, you could still use the same words in different ways, right?
That is correct. So some of the ancient composers like Purandara Dasar, he is known as the father of Carnatic music. Then Annamacharya is a Telugu composer. We have got their lyrics. They are like from 14th century.
Yeah.
So we didn't get the tunes, exact tunes, but still we have the ragas which are prescribed, and then musicians have later on composed tunes, and so it might not be the original tune in which they have already sung those days. But fortunately, the music trinities, Carnatic music trinities, Tyagaraja, Muthuswami Dikshidhar and Shyama Shastri, we have got the original tunes in which they actually sang at those days. It was transferred orally, to the disciples and over generations. And later on, then when writing started, people preserved it in notation, the form of notations in the swaras. Nowadays we have recordings, YouTube, everything.
Right.
Yeah. Actually, like learning Bhairav right now in Drupad, I'm not getting the feel for the raga like Kalyani, like Kalyan, Yaman. There is something about this Bhairav, even though Maya Malav Gowda, which is synonym of Bhairav, what they say, I feel the flavor of that, but I'm not feeling the flavor of Bhairav yet. So I was asking for several compositions, and so I've been listening to the compositions, but still, when the teacher teaches the alap, I'm not seeing those, like in Carnatic compositions, you can feel like you're saying, the sets of notes that is, in the composition itself. You can feel it like that. but I wasn't feeling.
So one more difference between
Huh?
Carnatic and Hindustani is in Carnatic, if you are doing an alap, in the first phrase itself, you will reveal the raga.
Yeah, and
Opening phrase will reveal the raga to you. There is no, like.
right.
But whereas in Hindustani, you develop it slower. You do it more elaborate, but you develop it slower. In the first phrase, you may not get the feel of the full. You won't see the raga swarupam in the first phrase, opening phrase. You have to wait for some. You need to be really patient.
Yeah, actually, that's exactly the feeling I was getting, because when when in the teaching class, it takes a while for me to feel what I have listened as a ragam. So I was asking, and that too we are doing it in. He's teaching it in the slokam form, like Ananta Narayana. That is the way. So I was asking, can you make this a composition in such a way that all these Bhairav swaras are embedded in, so you can take those swaras from there and improvise the raga, so you get a feel. But then it goes, so it's like it goes in such a way that first it touches one note after the other. The alap, you start with sa and then go down, show all the notes of the raga, like that. But the raga doesn't jump right away.
Yeah.
The raga doesn't jump. So there is this is why I was asking you these questions, because these are all coming up in my mind. And also I feel like to a large extent, when you listen to Carnatic, when they start, you can recognize the raga. If we can do that right away, but the composition, what composition they are going to sing also kind of jumps out. But I don't know how that happens. Is that?
Yeah, it is possible. Yeah.
Yeah, in instruments.
It is not intentional. When I used to go and listen so many concerts, I have experienced this. Like when they are singing the raga, you get kind of a feel, okay, this is going to be the kriti, and
that's
happens.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly, both vocal and instrument, you can feel it. But in Drupad, when I'm listening to alap, I don't know what composition is. Even though I'm listening to compositions, I don't know until they start singing the composition, what composition it's going to be. Yeah. I was wondering what all these differences you feel.
Yeah, one thing is the singer will have the kriti in his mind, so the phrases related to that kritis will automatically,
will come. I see. But it's interesting, I was thinking yesterday, so many different ways of expressing music. It's amazing. How people have gone into all these different genres, and it's like an endless ocean. You can just keep on listening, and everything begins to, from where you are at one point in your life, you're just restricted to something that you grew up with, but then the whole ocean just begins to show up in front of you. There's so many ways you can do the same thing.
So yesterday I had a vocal class. He's a male student. I have very few male students. Young kids are there, but grown-up adults mostly, especially in singing, mostly female picture I sing. Very few, couple of male students. So he still in the beginning stage, we just started with the varnams, but still struggling to get stabilized on different singing positions. But he understands the ragas, all those things. A very interested person. So I just casually happened to mention about this Nadayoga, and somehow the conversation went there. And then he was too overwhelmed to even hear and know about it. I was talking about the ragas, like once we have discussed, I think the ragas are devatas, they are like deities. And if you, there are different deities, like the Hanuman's nature is different from Ganesha's nature, and how they respond to you, it's all different. Each deity is different, right? And Devata or Deva, the Div, Sanskrit root means light. The divine Div is light. So if you are looking, if you are seeing through the eyes, you see them in light form. If you translate that visual form into sound, that is ragas.
Wow.
So it just while I was talking, it just came up. So I just wanted to share with you also. So we perceive through our five sense organs everything around us. Our eyes can see; they cannot hear, right? Your ears can always only hear, not see. So each organ has its own, sense organs have its own function. And the popular example of five blind people looking at the elephant, the blind person, blind people looking at, well, the blind person was touching the tail of the elephant and he said the elephant is like a broomstick. Another person touched the ears of the elephant and he said it is like a big, in Malayalam we call it muram. I don't know what you call it.
Tamil also they call muram.
Muram, how do you translate it in English?
Is it chatai? How you take out stuff from groceries?
Maybe, yeah.
They do like this, and then the dirt is taken out in India.
Right, yeah.
It's not jala. It's not jala.
Yeah, I know. It's formed like this, and it's made
and then you
oven stuff.
oven stuff. Yeah.
Another blind guy touched the legs of the elephant and he said the elephant is like a pillar. All these blind people are seeing only the partial truth. Elephant is all that, but it is not that, right? They are not seeing the elephant in its totality. Same way, we are looking at everything, seeing or understanding everything through the limitations of our five sense organs. We are all blind in a way. We are not seeing the truth in its totality. We are seeing partial truths and telling, okay, this is this. But if there is a sense organ that can perceive it all simultaneously, the visual, the auditory, without separating them, the light forms of the devatas can be the sound form of the raga swarupas. So when you are practicing singing a raga, you are doing a devata upasana actually. It's a raga upasana, right? So each raga has different flavor, like about the different deities we are talking, like Mahakali is different from Ganesha, or Ganesha is different from Rama, or Rama is different from Krishna. Different flavors of them we experience in different deities. Same way, each raga has their own flavors and different boons they give to us when you practice them, when you do the upasana. A lot of healing happens within us, the process of evolution happens within us with each raga, each swara position. It's a combination of different swara positions. Devata raga is a combination of different swara positions, right? And about the swara also we discussed once, the Swayam Rajayati, they shine up. So the Deva they also shine by themselves. They don't need an external, source from which they need to get the light. They shine by themselves. They are like the combination of swaras only. That's why Shankara is known as Nada Tanu Manisham Shankaram. Nada Tanu, his body, Shankara's body is Nada. Tanu is body, right? Shariram is sound itself, Nadam itself. Very interesting, very deep science inherent, which is totally unnoticed. But it is all these ragas will work like a pill.
Like capsule, you're saying.
You need not know what it does. You just have it. You feel good. It heals you. The healing happens inside. You just listen to Madhyamavadi, and the mind has to eventually become tranquil. Like how you sit on a beach side and watch the ocean. It's my personal perception of the.
Yeah, that I like that. Actually, Guruji's and Malladi. I don't know if I passed it on to you. Yeah, maybe I did. Like they are doing the Jugalbandi, and they are Malladi brothers have taken Madhyamavati, and Gundecha brothers took Meg. I thought it was Madhvatsaran, the rag, but they took Meg, and oh my God, I just love that piece. It is so nicely. The two of them are doing it so beautifully, and they are bringing the sync between the two also. How the two ragams, even though it is expressed in two different ways, and yeah, when you said Madhyamavati, I was just remembering that. I was just listening to it maybe a couple of days ago. Very, very beautiful. Yeah.
And the same raga, when you are listening, somebody is singing Madhyamavati. If you are listening from the perspective of Shadjam, then it is Madhyamavati. But suppose you are singing Madhyamavati from your Shadjam, I am not able to hear the Shruti. Maybe you are using your, AirPods and having the Shruti in your ears. I keep a different Shruti, maybe the Ri or Ma here, and I am listening to your Madhyamavati. It might sound like a Bhoop for me.
Oh.
It's no more Madhyamavati. So do I get the effect of Bhoop, or do I get the effect of Madhyamavati? I get the effect of Bhoop only because I am listening from the perspective of different notes. So
is it the Murchana you're talking about?
Yeah, the Adhara Shadjam, the base from where you are listening to it. So from the same raga, from a different dimension, it is giving a different flavor and effect. So these devatas are all like that, they have different dimensions. You can ask Ganesha to remove your obstacles, and Ganesha is also in a higher dimension, much very different, capable of bestowing other blessings. So it's only like who you are, like what you are asking for, what you need.
Where I was just reading just a couple of days ago, if somebody was asking if there was a Rudra form of Ganesha as well. I don't know where it came up from.
Yeah. Shodasya Ganapati is a very popular distinction, right? The 16 types of Ganeshas are there. Nartana Ganapati is there, Ananda Ganapati is there.
So the form which is typically worshipped is what? The form that everybody worships, like as a deity or as like the idol. What is that form? Is that the Ananda?
I don't think Ananda Ganapati is probably much a higher dimension being. Yeah. And somewhere Sadhguru has mentioned about Ganapati as one of the Bhutaganas. The head actually got from one of the Bhutaganas of Shiva. So it is one of the Bhutaganas of Shiva, the leader actually of the Bhutaganas. Yeah.
Great name.
Gana Bhutagana Ganapati
Yeah. Oh,
is the
Ganati
Pati,
Setam.
the Pati of all the Bhutaganas.
So going back to, I'm sorry, you said each raga has a deity. Is that a perception, or do you know that this raga is for this deity? Say for Krishna, what would be the raga?
That is what it is. What you assume, what you assign to it, right? Is sankalpa. Just now, what we mentioned about listening to a particular raga, you are listening it as Madhyamavadi. I am listening it as Bhoop. Another person is listening to it as Shuddha Saveri raga, right? Like Durga.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, it is the same positions, but from where you are listening. So, how you are looking at the deity, they can take. It's like water can take the form of any container, right? So, devatas, according to your container, however it is, they can contain in that according to your capabilities. So, it's about when you worship a devata, you basically eventually identify one with it. You are not separate from, like Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa was a great devotee of Kali. He goes to trance, to samadhi states once he starts. He becomes one with her actually. He is lost in time and space, and he is experiencing total bliss within himself. So there is this story about Totapuri, Ramakrishna Paramahamsa's guru, who came and he understood that Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa is stuck at a certain level of meditation, and he needs to cross that, he needs to transcend that state. He has to let go of Kali to be enlightened, which is not possible for even to imagine, to think about it for Ramakrishna. Then Totapuri gave a technique. Have you heard this story?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah. So Totapuri said, you become one with her, you go to the trance state, and at that stage you need to visualize that you chop Kali's head off. But getting over that attachment with her. He's so attached to her, he's so one with it, he can't let go of that. Initially, he could even think about it, but he said he will try because the Guru is asking to do so. Meditation, he will come to that stage, and then he couldn't do that. He comes back to, normal waking consciousness, conscious awareness, and then he says, it's not possible for me. Then Totapuri gave him a technique. When you are in that trance state, I will make a cut on your third eye, on your Ajna chakra. It will really hurt you, when you with a blade, or with a broken glass or something, you cut it here. In that pain, in that agony, that is the time you can do this. Act in your mind, and then that works. Totapuri helped him to cross that, and that's when he attained enlightenment. So all this learning, everything, we have to let go finally.
Yeah.
So initially, letting go of everything without putting any effort is not going to work. That is ignorance. Ignorance is bliss when it is done with awareness, with consciousness. You reach the same level, but you are still conscious and aware of everything. You understand, you know the truth. Not perceiving through your mind or five sense organs, much beyond that. identifying with the cosmos, the Brahma Sharira. So we have like subtle bodies, right? The physical body is the grossest one, Sthula Sharira, and then we have the energy body. When we learn about the energy body, we know there is an aura. You can see, like a clairvoyant can see with the naked eyes. You can feel with your hands. You can feel the chakras. You can see the colors of the chakras. Then you understand, oh, I am not just this physical body. I am something more. You expand your consciousness to the prana sharira. So the I basically expands. Then you come to know about your even subtler body in a subtler frequency of vibrations, which is the astral body. You start exploring the astral world. You travel, you see different dimensions, different beings in the astral world. Then you understand, okay, I'm not just this physical body or a energy body. There is much subtler dimensions of myself. Then the consciousness even expands to the astral dimension. In astral dimension, you transcend time and space. In energy body, you only transcend space. You don't transcend time. That's why you are sitting in LA or in San Antonio. I am able to do healing from here in Austin, because space is not a barrier for the energy body. In astral body is concerned, even time is not a barrier. You can go back in time, travel back in time, and heal your past. All those things are possible. Even to the future, to an extent, you are able to see from the astral dimension. You are able to project yourself to the future also. But you still have the free will to change that in the course. So you are not bound by any fixed future or anything. But past is already done. Then you go explore further, meditate, and understand even subtler dimensions like the mental body, the manasa sharira. That is which travels from one body to another after death. That body carries all the inclinations, all the desires, all the seeds that we have sowed. The mental body travels, and it needs a physical body to experience them. Otherwise, it cannot fulfill all those things. That's why you have to take another body, physical body again, because this body is no more working well. You got old, we have lived so many years, and we need to change the vehicle now, buy a new car. So get back into it. So all these memories are embedded in the subconscious mind, in the unconscious mind. Whatever is predominant at the time of death, that becomes the prime karma of the next birth. So you choose in the sense you are drawn towards a conducive life situation, parents, like a group karma is there. The family will have a group karma. You all are in a group, you all experience similar situations in life. Again, that similar situations, how each one perceive will be different based on their own past. But still, it's easier to study in a same classroom. But each student perceives, understands the teacher in their own way. Then the mind filters according to what they already are capable of, right? So that is manasa charira. And then even this, like how this body withers away after so much of usage, same way the mind also withers away after some time, after so many thousands of lifetimes of carrying all these things. Some of them will just die off. Some of them will fulfill, will be fruitful. So in meditation, like in Vipassana, Goenkaji talks about this. If we don't give food for your body one day, what happens? You will feel a bit hungry. If you're not giving food for the body for 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, maybe a week, you feel tired, right? You are not feeding the body for 15 days, a couple of weeks, or even closer to a month. What happens to the body?
It withers away.
Yeah,
Slowly.
then the mind cannot stay in the body anymore. It's not capable of giving the needed energy. All these are this body is composed of all five elements. So many of them are not available, which are needed for the mind to sustain in the body. So it has to leave the body. So why it did not wither away? Why you did not die when you did not feed the body for 3 days or a week's time?
There is a storage of energy.
Storage of already,
Energy.
yeah,
It's a
the
currency.
already existing fat it started using up, right? Same way, after even that is also exhausted, then the death happened.
Right.
Yeah, same way the mind also needs food every moment. Body needs at least only once a day, but the mind needs every moment it needs food. And where does the mind's food come from? Through the five sense organs. We see, hear, smell, taste, touch, and that's how the mind survives. If you don't give any of these, you are not giving food for the mind. That's what happens in meditation. You sit with your eyes closed and you're withdrawn inwards. Maybe observing the breath or observing the sensations or the chakras or whatever. These techniques are all just a preparation. They are not the actual meditation. Meditation has to happen. You have to let it happen. But the soil needs to be you have to sow the soil to. What is it? Not sow the seeds, but so you have to prepare the soil, right? You have to. I'm not getting the right.
Till
What is that?
Plow.
Plow, yes, correct,
Yeah.
correct. Yeah, you have to plow the field and keep it ready before you sow the seed to get good results out of it.
Yeah.
Same way, it's all plowing the field. That is what is happening when you practice different techniques. The body has to be prepared. The mind has to be prepared. That's what we are doing from our side. And then rain has to come, sunshine has to come for the small seed to sprout. The nature has to bestow all these things. Otherwise, again, no sunshine, no rain, the seed cannot grow. It will die off. So all these things have to happen for the meditation to happen. We have to prepare the soil also. That is our job. That's all what we can do from our side. Okay, we are just started with the different types, layers of body. From Manasa Charira, you transcend to the. Okay, you are not giving food to the mind in meditation. So after that, if it's not getting any food, it will die off. That is what meditation is. Unmani Karagam. This Nadayoga is also Unmani Karagam. Mana is mind and the annihilation of the mind. Yoga, Patanjali's Yoga Sutra.
Unmani? What is the word you?
Unmani Karakam. that which
Unmani Karakam.
that which does the mind to dissolve. Manolayam happens. In Sangeetam also it can happen. It can happen anywhere. It depends on the preparation that we have done. Right? Anything can annihilate your mind. Just listening to music, just singing, totally absorbed in the samadhi state, or just by listening to silence, the anahatanada, it can happen. You never know when it happens to someone. It can happen in any situation. Somebody might be eating for some particular food, and maybe he got enlightened, his mind ceased. Then people will start thinking, okay, if you eat this food, you will get enlightenment. It doesn't work like that. The work that, like a musician, when he performs on the stage, we are all, like a magic we are watching. But what kind of work he has done behind that to just sing one song, how many times they have practiced, and very effortlessly they are presenting it on the platform, right? So when we desire, okay, I also should be able to sing like that. That kind of effort also we have to put. It will definitely happen. So in spirituality is also the same thing. The work has to be done, but it is not happening because of the work that you have done. That has helped you. You have kept yourself ready, prepared, but it just happened due to several other factors have to coincide, which is beyond our control. So
We just have to do our part.
yes.
Keep oil ready to have a good seed. Makes sense.
So from that Mano Sharira, then
Next is Atma Sharira. Atma Sharira is the spiritual body. So in yoga, they divided it into 5. Annamaya Kosha, Pranamaya Kosha, Manomaya Kosha, Vijnanamaya Kosha, and Anandamaya Kosha. Anandamaya Kosha is the blissful body. Atma Sharira, when you identify yourself with Atma Sharira, you expand the consciousness further. The eye expands. You are not just with this physical body or etheric body or astral body or mental body. You are much beyond. The Atma, the real soul of yourself, who you are. To that, from that dimension, they call it by different names. A higher self. There is no higher or lower, not in a sense of because which is high above the head. We generally say it is high above, right, and below is. But if you are standing on your head, which is high, so it's all very relative terms. It's again you which has expanded, and that is the stage when you come to know the real who you are. Until then, we have seen only part of us, like the 5 blind people, how they saw the elephant, right? Now you see the full elephant when you come to the Atma Sharira. Oh, this is me. This is my power. This is what I can do. Atma Sharira. And then after that, even further, the eye expands, and it identifies with the Brahma Sharira, the cosmic, the existence. The entire existence is I. You are not different. So Padmaji is also me, Rekaji is also me. So you are able to, it is not intellectual understanding like how you talk, when you think about it, that is totally different. These 5 fingers, there are the 5 different fingers, they are not separate from you. They are all yourself, right? That kind of identification. So if something happens to you, it happens to me also. So we see that in Ramana Maharshi's story, like somebody was beating a monkey in the ashram, and Ramana got those marks on his body. So that is the kind of cosmic identification, Brahma Sharira. And then there's the last seventh one is the Nirvana Sharira, the Buddha's enlightenment. He talks in the way of negation. Everything is like nothingness. He doesn't talks about Atma. He doesn't talks about the soul, Anatta, no self. Shiva is also that nothingness. There is nothing to talk about it. It's only the that pure existence, which is all encompassing, where there is nothing.
So the Panchakoshas is a different type of looking at it. What is the way you've described? What is this seven?
So when you study in a biology class, if you are studying the body, how you divided it into endocrine system, circulatory system, muscular system, skeletal system, different systems. You can study it that way. You can also study taking separate organs. The heart you can study, the liver you can study. Like that you can study. It's how you look at it, how you are studying about yourself.
So under what system, I mean, again, it's an intellectual question for no good reason, but under what system do they divide or describe body the way you are describing?
This is, if you look at the Vijnan Bhairav Tantra, you will see this kind of...
Okay. That's what Padmaji is trying to ask, I think.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was trying to ask. Thank you.
Very interesting.
Very nice, yeah.
Like you just said, like the word ocean keeps coming to mind like 1,000,000 times a day these days. Like wherever you stand, it looks like an ocean. Like I don't know anything anymore. Oh my, like there's this whole thing like, oh, I'm 50 something, I know, not only you feel you know everything, and suddenly, in Hindi they say, pol khulna, yani ki, what your innermost secrets have been divulged, sort of deal to yourself. Nobody else knows. But for me, like music started like, I'm like, oh my God, it's an ocean. You start this something else, some spiritual context of whatever. You feel like, what did you do all these years? Half a century gone. But everything sounds like you're standing at the edge of the ocean.
Ocean is a very small comparison. Yeah, but that is the best we can make it.
Yeah.
True.
I've been kind of going through some type of even the thought of it is making me cry now. It's like I turn on the tanpura and I want to practice. And then I listen to the tanpura for some time and I can't practice. It's like, it's been going on for a while, but it has become much more distinct because I just hear I only hear the Swayambhuga. Riga, riga, riga. It kind of goes on and fills the whole space. And I have this feeling at that moment, like as if the tanpura is inviting, calling. There is a plaintive call. It says, come. But I'm just sitting here, I'm saying, no, I can't come to you. I can't sing. I can't come to you because this is so ethereal, so beautiful. I just feel so inadequate, so limited. And it just feels like as if I'm sitting in that bank and I can hear the call, but I don't know how to go there.
Yeah, that is what happens when you start practicing Nadayoga meditation. The ears become so sensitive. It will hear very subtle nuances that we never heard, identified before. in music, even in the tambura strums. Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard it. I mean, that has always felt something special, but not the way I'm feeling it now. It's like I was telling Mukunji yesterday, I'm not able to practice. I just sit and cry.
The mind
What's
will
going
become
on with
very
me?
sensitive.
Huh?
Mind will become very sensitive to all these subtle tones.
Yeah. And he said, you need to get a real tanpura and, kind of feel it and keep it in your ear. He told me, anyway, that's a different conversation. But with this electronic tanpura, it's become so, that's the only thing I'm able to see now. That's the only thing in that. And
Now the ragas can take forms and appear before you.
Yeah, I like the way you mentioned Swarupa this morning also, that it's something very interesting. Yeah.
So we'll read the next chapter. I think we are on.
One question on the previous conversation on the shariras and the group karma. So, a lot of these rebirth stories which come out, or reincarnations and stuff, if you believe in that, they seem like geographically the kids are born somewhere around this, the area or state or country or something, which sort of might make sense. But then in the last several years, I'm seeing and I'm noticing that a lot of these people who live in the US, for example, white people, are getting so inclined towards, or not only like in the US, but Europe and stuff. And more than us who were born and brought up in India, the inclinations are so strong to run to India and to get that. What is this? Why be born in a different country then and then having to, then re-find, there is this place which is calling. What is that about?
Yeah, it's all this mixed karmas, right? So you need to be here for some time. Also, you need to experience certain things here, but you still have your roots somewhere where you are drawn. Like after death, how the Manasa Sharira is drawn towards the next situation. Same way in the physical living world also it happens. Our mind is drawn towards different directions. So all this running has to stop and you have to sit in one place. It is right there where you are, right here, you don't need to go anywhere. But we are going in search of it, to find it. Go everywhere and it is not here, it is not here, it is not here, this is not it. Himalayas, you might go and you might leave. It's a very, good place where there is a lot of spiritual vibrations. People have worked there. It can support you, but you can live like a, even more family man with a lot of samsaric thoughts in you, which is not really going to help your progress, right? But you can be in the midst of the market and still be still without any, movement. So it's right there where you are. It's right within. It's not without. So until you realize, you keep you're running, but those situations might help you. That will support you. That's why they are drawn towards that situation. But you have to do the work within. There is nothing to do with this external. They all can support definitely, but you don't really need all those support. If you can if you can turn inwards, the support is also there. It's a self-supported
Wow.
system, yes.
Okay.
I think
I have
chapter 3 and 4, right? Page number 18. You can chant. You can take a deep breath and chant a long Om. Just continue to sit with the eyes closed. Feel the natural breath passing through the nostrils. Listen to the Om and slowly open your eyes. How a single Om can stop all this chatter, bring the mind so calm and quiet. Such verses 3 and 4 mentions about origin of the 7 lokas. So it is getting more interesting in this chapter. Bhurlokaha padayostasya. You can repeat after me.
Bhurlokah padayostasya.
Bhuvarlokastu januni.
Bhuvarlokastu januni.
Suvarloka kati deshe.
Suvarloka kati deshe.
Nabhirdeshe maharjagat.
Nabhirdeshe maharjagat.
Janolokastu hriddeshe.
Janolokastu hriddeshe.
Kanthe lokastapastataha.
Kante
lokastapastataha.
lokastapastataha. Okay.
Bhruvor lalata madhyetu.
Bhuvor lalata madhyetu.
Satyaloko vyavasthitaha.
Satyaloko vyavastitaha.
We're talking about the Bhur, Bhuvaha, Tapaha, Janaha, all those different lokas. Bhur loka, first plane of consciousness. Tasya padayoho, in its feet. Bhuvar lokaha, second plane of consciousness. Januni, in its knees. Suvar lokaha, third plane of consciousness. Deshe, in the region of the kati, hips. Maha Jagat, Mahar Jagat, fourth plane of consciousness is in the region of Nabhi, the belly region. Jana Loka, fifth plane of consciousness, Vyavasthitaha is located Deshe in the region of heart, Hriddeshe. Tataha, from there, Lokaha, Tapaha, Tapolokam, the sixth plane of consciousness, to and Satyaloka, seventh plane of consciousness, Madhye in the center, Lalata of forehead, of the eyebrows. The seven lokas are connected to the 7 chakras. Bhurbhuva Tapaha. The Gayatri mantra has this Om Bhurbhuva Swaha Tat Saviduruvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhyo Yona Prachodayat. How it has, it enhances the the buddhi, the intellect. Suvar Lokaha, Maha Suvar, Maha, then Janaha, then Lokaha, Tapo, Tapaha, Satyaha. So all these different dimensions are within the body itself. So in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says like Idam Shariram Kaunteya Kshetramitya Bhidiyade. It is this body which is the field that we need to explore. The entire field of mind and matter we have to explore to understand the cosmos, the entire existence. Because we are part of it, right? Ramakrishna Paramahamsa says the example of testing one single rice. If it is boiled enough, that means the whole pot, entire is cooked, entire rice is cooked. So we have that handy within ourselves. We don't have to go anywhere. That's what we just discussed before also, right? Let's look at the translation. The Bhur Loka is in its feet. So here when it says in its feet, it is also mentioning about Om.
Om, yeah.
The Om, how it originates, the sound of Om when it originates. Don't think about the image of the writing, the script of Om, but the sound of Om, how it originates and how it culminates and reaches the Turiya, the silent. Bhurloka in its feet, Bhuvarloka in its knees, Suvarloka in the region of the hips, Mahar Jagat, Maharloka is the navel, Janaloka is located in the region of the heart, Tapoloka in the throat, Satyaloka in the center of forehead, and the eyebrows, Satya. Yeah. Here, Om being the first vibration of creation is described as containing the lokas or planes of existence within it. Again, the form or symbol of Om is used as a foundation to place the 7 planes. The Bhurloka or the earth plane lies at its feet or base. Bhurloka, the intermediary or the spatial plane, in its knees. Suvarloka, the heavenly plane, is in the hip region. Mahaloka, the great plane beyond heaven, is in the navel region. Janaloka, the plane where pure-minded souls dwell, is located at the heart region. Tapoloka, the plane where great yogis and tapasvis dwell, is located in the throat region. And Satyaloka, the plane of absolute truth, is at the center of the forehead in between the eyebrows. So we'll just sit for a few minutes with eyes closed. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to, intentionally or don't have to put any effort to listen to the Anahathanada or anything. If thoughts come, let them flow through the mind. Don't have to worry about it. You don't have to go along with the thoughts. Don't be carried away with the thoughts. Don't create any new thought. Don't try to stop the thoughts. Let the natural breath come in and go out of the nostrils as it is.
Everything, every aspect. Yours. And if she looked at it, which regardless of how it was said,
When you are ready, you may take a long deep breath in. Slowly breathe out. And rub your palms against each other. Gently massage the face region. Gently place the palms on the eyelids. And slowly open your eyes. Any other new experiences to share from the another practice? How is it going? Like music teachers ask the students, did you practice?
Yeah, this week I wasn't practicing physically, like I did the prior weeks. But then every time, like I said, every time I sat with the tanpura, the only thing I could hear, like right now we are meditating, I'm only hearing that riga. I don't know, I'm obsessed with it or something like that. And then this feeling comes, it's like, it's like saying, I know where you are, I can hear you, I see you, but where I am, I'm unable to come. And I don't know how to come. And I feel that, anyway, that's the experience I've been having this week. But it's not like I was sitting and doing, but for some reason I didn't do that sitting and doing. But every time I sit for practice, actually I turned off the tanpura to practice my violin because this emotion I could practice with that emotion. So anyway, I don't know what that means. I know this too shall pass.
Yeah, in the process of
Right, Rekha?
Yeah, in the process of learning, in the process of meditation, there are several different stages where we have to transcend and go to the next. And some places it takes some time to move on, to cross that and get to the next one. So there, the only way is to be patient. With the conviction that you are already that you are not separate. There is nothing that is separated and want to unite with something. It is already one. It is just a small veil of ignorance that is blocking that understanding. So there is nothing to be worried about it. Just be in that state is the best way to be out of it and go on to the there are some stages where you can get stuck. You like it so much, you think, okay, this is the ultimate, but like you said, this will also pass.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it's all of the nature of arising and passing.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just that I'm also sensing that, you can go, it's like you are in a place and you can't go with this. There is something that is needed, but I don't know what is needed. And then you what you do is, that's why we begin to search outside. Maybe this is going to help. Maybe this guru is going to help. Maybe this path will help. And then from there you move away. It's like, that's a very visceral experience. It's like, you understand now what you're doing. Not being able to step in. And then, and also there is this knowing that once you step in, there's no coming back from there. But right now, it's like, maybe this will help, that will help, and that's where it is right now. But you can sense it. I feel like with this, even in Vipassana, and like you said, I go into the state of complete silence, and I can be in that for a long time. It doesn't make me feel like this feeling of, I can't go is not there in that Vipassana place. There's some kind of, I'm in this, there is no other feeling there. But this is coming with this music. It's coming with this, whatever, this sound of the music. That completely knowing what is happening here, completely knowing that this is where you are. You can see it, you can hear it, you can experience it in your mental plane. But there is something you need to do to go. And
That something that you need to do is not doing anything.
That's right. That is right. Yeah, I think that's what happens. You think that you can go get it from. Then mind moves to searching for this, searching for that, and I started looking for what is this Gandhar sound? I was asking Mukunji yesterday. He says, in a way, it is like that you can experience the Gandharva Loka, something. I said, wow, this is all too much. But at this moment, it is it's like somebody invites you so, and saying that it's just come, but then you don't know how to go. You feel you need help.
And also this, somebody who is inviting is you, and the one who doesn't know how to go there, both are you. Right? That is the dualistic nature of your mind, seeing from different angles. Once you have the bridge, yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
There is nowhere to go. It is right there.
Yeah.
Right there in it, yeah.
Right now I feel this distance. There is a void. You don't know how to cross that void.
Okay, I think we can slowly wrap up. This today, some days it doesn't work for Radhika, right? On Fridays.
Yeah, some Thursdays I think she once in few weeks I think she needs to go to work.
Okay.
Yeah, because they all work remotely.
Yeah, if she knows ahead of time, then probably we can move it around, like one day back and forth. If Friday works better, we can move it, things like that.
Yeah.
We'll check with
Yeah.
that.
We can ask her to let us know. Yeah.
The next 2 Thursdays I will not be here.
Okay, yeah.
We're traveling and we'll be back on the 22nd, but sometime later in the day, which is.
Okay.
Yeah,
we can take a break for the winter also.
Holidays.
Yeah, can catch up. But we'll be in touch, sometimes sharing things, and if it works, sometimes we can plan it like on an impromptu base.
Yep.
early morning. I mean, if we are in town, then
Right.
even if family is here, I can still take out this hour because the house doesn't even start moving till this time. Works for me. So yeah, we can do that.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Have a nice day.
You all too. Bye.
Have a nice day, Rekha.
Thank you. You too. Bye bye.
Bye. Take care.